Good evening and welcome. This is Chris Upton reporting from the Starship Enterprise. Oh, better take that off there, aren't I? That might help, might it? Yeah, there you go, everyone. Good evening. Chris Upton in the house. Looking rougher and rougher every day. The things you put me through, you lot. Never mind the bollocks. Show us your dog. Never mind the bollocks. Let's put that up there, shall we? Never mind the bollocks. Show me your dog. Okay. Karen Evans first in the house. Simon Spruce, you've been turned over again. Peter Whitby. Oh, some nice comments here, isn't there? Graham Allison. What's wrong with you lot tonight? You're being nice instead of rude like normal. Sue's in the house. Good evening, Sue. Just got in. That's it. Drop something. Good evening, Ian Gaunt. Good evening, Christopher, and good evening, Michael McLaughlin. See? Alan Hurd. Alan Hurd. Sound like a farmer, don't I? Alan Hurd, good evening. Richard Gould, good evening. Noel Murphy, good evening. Steve Pace, good evening. Nigel Bob, Karen Murphy. Peter Taylor's in the house. Lynn Thompson's in the house. John Archer's in the house. Good evening to you, John Archer. And Terrorist is in the house as well. The bloody terrorist, the bloody dog that ruined the whole test. The terrorist is in the house. Peter Piper, Barry E, good evening. Robert Jeffrey, Tracy Dodds. KRYMK9, evening, good evening. The Keith Act, good evening. Ian Gaunt, good evening. John Wilson, good evening. So tonight's the night. Tonight's the results. Do you want the results now or later? If you have 10 bollocks in a row, we'll give you the results straight away. If not, you can have them later. It's completely up to you. You are the people deciding this. Oh, Daniel says he can't comment on live again. Well, Daniel, that's not my problem. I don't know what the problem is. Everybody's got a problem. So we have 10 bollocks in a row. We'll give you the results straight away. If not, you'll have to wait. You'll have to wait and just build up the tension. See, it's only 2 bollocks later. See this? Look, later. Keep us in suspense. Bollocks, bollocks, bollocks. I love a bit of competition. So, okay, what I'm going to do is go against what everybody is saying. I'm going to give you the results straight away because there's too many bollocks in here. So, hold on to your seats, everybody. I know you've all been waiting for this. You've worked really hard. You deserve this. And here are the results. And I don't want no crying, no spitting your toys out the pram, right? I don't want nobody spitting the toys out the pram. I want you all to take this on board and act like grown-ups, not children. Okay, simple as that. Okay, it was an absolute fantastic. Let me do my speech first, shall we? It was an absolute fantastic test. The standard was excellent. Some of the older dogs, the top dogs, were just really, really good. As good as I could get a dog to do it. I take my hat off to you. You should be absolutely chuffed with yourself. Chuffed, is that the word I can use? Chuffed, can you say that these days? Chuffed? Or is that going to upset some bird? Anyway, the standard was excellent. But what makes this test is it was for all standards. And we have no losers in here tonight. We have no losers. So without a further ado, I'd like to run off the list. Me and Sol have been talking about this all afternoon. We rolled up our sleeves at one point. We rolled up our sleeves, but he didn't want to fight, but we rolled up our sleeves. He wanted to inject me with some serum of some sort. I think laughing gas or something. And so literally, we discussed this so much, everybody. What's happening here? I think somebody's drunk. Couldn't everyone see me? I lost focus then. Do you see that? How I lost focus? Keep on track, Chris. Keep focus. I think because I moved over there. Like I was explaining, me and Sol have been talking for about an hour and a half, arguing non-stop. Me arguing with Sol, you know, the test secretary. I could have been thrown out of the club, but as the judge, I had to make a decision, and I wanted to make a joint decision. And so Andy Stead's going to read out the results for us from Jersey. He's going to act like the mayor of Jersey, because they call them donkeys, don't they, in Guernsey? So he's going to be the mayor, right? And he's going to read out the results. So without further ado, Andy Stead is actually going to read out results of the winners, losers, and people who didn't turn up. No, I'm going to read it out. And so me and Sol decided that we got to have a runoff, because that's what they do in a lot of tests. They have a runoff with the top dogs, to show everybody who's got the top dog. So instead of like looking at the scores individually and going that dog won it on merit, that dog came second, or that dog joint third, or whatever, me and Sol thought we'd use our discretion and we'd have a runoff for the top dogs. So the dogs that got into the runoff, there's a runoff. Richard goes, yes, he's over the freaking moon. He wants to win his own prize. By the way, Richard and his family, he is given out the first prize. So let's have a bollocks for Richard. He's gone out of his way and he's given a voucher for £30. And that he's our sponsor for the evening, for the test, for first place. There's a squirrel skin and there's a cup, a mug, not a cup. Unlucky. There's no cup. There's a mug. There's a mug for the winners, right? And I just want to see more folks and their dogs, says Richard. There, he wants to see more. Bollocks. So here we go. So if your dog's name comes up, there's a runoff, and you're in the runoff. So there you go. Here we go. So the dogs in the runoff is Pippa, Brooke, Lily, Neo, Willow, Isla, Mouse, Sally, Edith, Bracken, Hamish, Indy, Chester, Kingsley, Billy, Darcy, Mia, Zeus, Simba. If these are the dogs that have been called out, if your dog has been called out, you're now in the runoff. Isa, Roman, Trone, Sheldon, Cooper, Penny. No, Charlie was drawn. Penny was drawn. Cooper was withdrawn. Reg, Hetty, Rona, Fern, Kesby, Mog, Jasmine, Charlie, Willow, Ella, Cherry, Lenny, Maggie, Harry, Lily, Nelly, Lady, Daisy, Sky, Harley, Golden, Maggie, and Tess. There you go. Anybody's dog not been called out, you've not been required for the runoff for first place. Big runoff. It's going to take some judging, isn't it? Eh? It's going to take some judging. And then the test secretary overruled the judge and said, don't be freaking stupid. We'll be here all day. I will not be able to get back to Cuba. What about Bangladesh Bob? Yeah, Bangladesh Bob. So, without ado, I tried to build it up for you all, didn't I? Right? Everyone's dog. Yeah, even yours, John. Even yours got in there, look. Right. So, without ado, we have to upset some people, and we have to please some people. So we're just going to give fourth place first, third place, second place, and first place, and then we'll have a speech from the winner, and hopefully they'll tell us how they did it and how they achieved it, and we'll be doing that over on Corleone Talk. So as soon as we finish on here tonight, we'll have the winners, the losers, and the crybabies all over on Corleone Talk talking about it. Okay. Right. And then, by the way, we all want to vote the test secretary off the job. So let's have a bollocks if you want Sol now to be kicked off the job of the test secretary. I want 10 bollocks in a row. I don't want anyone to say anything unless you go bollocks, 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 bollocks. And we're promoting him to the field trial secretary. So the next one, he's now moving up and he's going to do the field trial secretary, the real test on the real stuff. So we want 10 bollocks, for fuck's sake. He's now been sacked as the test secretary. If you get 10 bollocks in a row, you've got to have 10 bollocks in a row, else he stays the test secretary. 10 bollocks in a row, he's going to be the field trial secretary, and we'll be looking. Oh no, someone messed it up. Oh, we did say bollocks. I'll give him that. There you go. So technically, so you've been fired as the test secretary. You were freaking useless in my eyes. Everyone else is too sweet to you. You've made it so difficult for the judge. I was so nearly going to lie down. Now he's going to be the trial secretary, everybody. So we love Sol. Yes, we do. He did a fantastic job. And I want to say, without Sol, the game wouldn't have played like the way it did. And see that Ian go, I love Sol. Bloody hell, Ian, I'm worried about you. So let's have a look at the SP. Sol did send it to me. He's good to me, and don't forget, if any of the scores don't add up, Blame Sol. Right, because he did the scores as well. I need glasses for this. Okay, so in 4th place. Jesus Christ. In 4th place, we have the one and only I don't know, I can't see it. With 97 points. 5 points for the fancy dress. 22 points for the stopping the dog on the dummy. Do you know what? This is not easy. Imagine I called out the wrong freaking person. I'm just going to double check this. We think we have a 4th place. Alan Herold. Heard, you silly fool. You couldn't even get that right, could you? I bet everyone's thinking, who's Alan Herold? Alan Heard in 4th place. Congratulations. Is that right? Is that right? Is that right, everyone? Yes, Susan. Could you just give, because there's a 4th lot.
Yeah, hold on,
Then
Alan.
Follow the line back. It might not be you, Alan. It might be John Archer. Hang on.
Don't get the champagne.
Hang on. Hang on. It might be John Archer. Hang on. It's in small writing.
Alan Heard with Lily.
Alan Heard with Lily, Susan says.
Test 2, 20 points. Test 1, 20 points. Test 2, 25. Test 3, 25. Test 4, 22. And 5 for your fancy dress, 97.
Okay, Susan. Okay, so now we have this person here with 99.4.
99.4.
Would you like to run that back? I know who it is.
99. Third.
It's not John Archer.
Third.
That's it. Take your time.
I'm making sure
build it up. Build it up. Build it up.
Well, it is the only.
It's the one and only. The Red Cape Disaster Crusader. Disaster Crusader.
Kieran Evans.
Captain what? Klingon. Captain Klingon. Kieran Evans is in 3rd place.
With Sheldon.
Congratulations, Kieran. Is that your first test award? There you go. Look at that. Look at that booty. Look at that. Well done, Kieran. Well done.
Right, test 1, 24. Test 2, 22 and a half. Test 3, 22. Test 4, 25. And for your fancy dress, Kieran, 5.9.
So now we have in 2nd place. Absolutely fantastic. Loved watching this dog.
With 102 points.
With 102 points. 102 points. We have a mouse that lived in a house.
We got Peter Whitby with Mouse.
And also, congratulations to Peter and the baby.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Cheers, everyone, to Peter and Mouse. Read your scores out, Susan.
Test 1, 25. Test 2, 25. Test 3, 23.5. Test 4, 23. And for your fancy dress, 5.5. Which becomes to 102.
Right. And in 1st place, drum rolls, please.
Da, 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 da. Right.
We have John Archer with a Corleone bitch. Congratulations, John. Drum roll, please. Come on, keep going. Come on, where's the bollocks for John? Come on, congratulations for John. Corleone bitch wins it on ice. Scored 25 on everything he did.
Was that the judge's discretion?
What do you mean? Yeah, right. John Archer. What do you mean? Yeah, right. Never. It's in the judge's discretion, right? There's a rule. It's called. Well done, John. Thank you, Jason, for being a sport, mate. Thank you for being a sport. It's judge's discretion. We don't cheat here. Well done, John. Look at that. Look, everyone's well done.
Right, and the real winner is.
Oh shit! Sorry, John. Sorry, John. The thought of winning is a count. Not winning. The judge's pissed. There you go. So the winner is
Barry Elston.
Do you know what? Do you know what? She had to fucking ruin it, didn't she?
You went is.
No, I was going to say is a Labrador, you twat. Sorry. Sorry. That wasn't the right sort of word, was it? I mean, honestly, she just ruined that, everyone. I'm sorry for saying that word. I just couldn't believe that. She just ruined it, everyone. Bloody Barry. I was building that up. I was going to say it was a Labrador. I wasn't going to say who won. She had to jump in there, didn't she, everyone? She's ruined my climax.
Sorry for taking your thunder.
You were tossing last week, and she's ruined my climax. That's it now. Honestly, I don't believe it. I didn't mean to call her that. I was just so angry that I'd built that right up. I was going to throw it at him, and everyone goes, hooray, hooray. But no, what happens? She freaking ruined it. She ruined it. She never even gave the dog's name first, did she? She had to jump in, didn't she, everyone?
Have you finished?
Yeah, finished.
Right. The winner is Barry Elston with Mia.
It should have been the winner is a Labrador. Beat the Spaniels. Beat the Spaniels in overall. Right. And the dog's name was Mia. Congratulations to Barry. But she had to ruin the day. I managed to get all the other dogs out in the right order, the right time, in the right sequence, and then she had to jump the gun. Well done, Barry. So,
Finished?
no, I'm not.
Right, test one he got.
Hang on. This here is for second place for the mouse.
Oh.
And this here, this is Tufty the squirrel, the road safety squirrel who didn't make it. And you've also, courtesy of one of the competitors of all people, Richard and his family, a £30 voucher. £30 voucher to spend how you see fit. Now, Sue wants to obviously get involved now, so off she goes. Hello.
Right, test one.
Here she goes.
25. Test 2, 25. Test 3, 25. Test 4, 25. And 5 for the fancy dress.
Well done. So could I just have a look at this again, please? Because I'm not 100%
And then
sure.
you can say...
Hang on. I'm not 100% sure here. I think there's been a problem. Can you come here, please? Can you just add up this person's score? This here. 94.5 it says there.
Mm-hmm. So it's a bit late trying to work it out now.
Well, it says 4th place. 97, that's all right. I didn't see that. Because I picked somebody else for 4th.
And you've got that one. You can say that.
So hang on. She has to do it again, doesn't she? She's trying. Why doesn't she sit in the hot seat? Why don't she sit in the mastermind's chair? Just a second, right? Oh God, honestly, this judge doesn't need this. He doesn't. Simon, could you stop that, please? Was that a lab that won it? Yes, it frickin' was. I was rooting for Mouse, but Mouse had more important things to do. Look after the baby. I think Mouse could have won it. If only Mouse had pushed it that little bit further. I mean, I'm not a sore loser. Bloody Labradors. Honestly. Hey, no joking aside, what a fantastic test. Didn't everybody get involved? You know, it's not the winning. Even the people who struggled, they kept on going, some of them, and I take my hat off to you because you're the winners. You're the winners. The ones who were struggling, not the ones who made it look easy, not the ones who had the confidence to go out there and dress up like prats. And there was a few prats, honestly, but without people having a laugh. I don't think Kieran would have came 3rd if he'd not put the cape on. I think he may have come 4th. So there you go. That's the way it goes. I do know that someone, if they had put the cape on, they would have been in the awards or a fancy dress. Or it may be just I like watching people in fancy dress. So there was some fantastic fancy dress. Some people really threw themselves at it. I understand not everybody wants to act the fool. That's the golden rule. But I say well done to all of you who got involved in the test. And we want to thank Sol for all the hard work he's done. And we always give the judge and the field test secretary a bottle of whiskey. And as Sol doesn't drink whiskey, Sol said, let Chris have it. So I've got 2 bottles of whiskey. Thanks very much, everyone. That's coming out the expenses. And we'll send Sol a bottle of Merlot, cheap bottle, because that's what he's like when he comes in. He buys cheap wine. He doesn't buy dear wine. He buys cheap wine. So we like to give him decent wine, but he says, no, I'd rather have 3 bottles of cheap wine than 1 bottle of expensive wine. Judge, unfinished business. Unfinished business. Okay, sorry. So there was a special award, a C of M. C of M goes to a lovely little dog that stole most people's hearts here. And the C of M, Sol printed it off to me in such small writing. The C of M goes to a well-deserved little dog with a freaking massive heart. And that's John Jessup's Edith. The terrier. Paul Jarvis, you freaking just like Sue, you are. You have to freaking ruin it, don't you? I was building that up.
Everybody loved Edith.
Everybody loved Edith. Paul Jarvis, you're just like Sue, aren't you? You just have to freaking ruin it for everybody. So that's yeah. And so that's I mean, to be able to do it with a dog of a terrier is a terrorist. Yeah, well done. And I'll go out to both of you. You were good sports. You did it. Let me just say that test 4, asking a dog to stop on top of a dummy, can put some dogs off slightly, and some of you may have struggled with it, but it really showed the control that you've got. Yeah, Edith was amazing, like everyone says. Well deserved to C of M. Congratulations. We were over the moon that you joined in. It was Sol's dream that lurchers, terriers, pit bulls, American pit bulls, Afghan hounds, pointers, everything got involved, and we had 350 entries, and we stood around for 4 days. It didn't quite work out like that, but I think with the entries we had, that was enough. We had enough entries. It was quite difficult to judge because I'm looking for everybody's entry, and more stuff's coming in. And it was different ground, different environment. Some of you added to it, but I think overall we had a great time. Pit bulls, even pointers. I didn't want to mention pointers. Sol had to mention pointers, didn't he? We even had a couple of pointing dogs, didn't we? Involved, didn't we? If I'm right. Edith is a winner. She won our hearts. There you go. Even had a clumber. Exactly. Even had a clumber. And he had a go, didn't he? He had a go. He did all right. He gave in on the hunted. That's a shame. He was injured or something. He had a hard life. It was very odd. But overall, the standard, I'm telling you, was very high. So anybody who's not got up there with the results they wanted, that was it. I looked at Daniel Quinn's points. If he'd only dressed up, he would have been up there with Kieran. Kieran's red cape did him, and the dog's mask and cape did him. That was so funny when that dog spun around on a sixpence and looked at Kieran, and the cape flung around its shoulder. It was so funny. And then it was so funny with the what's he call it from the film, the Marvel comics. Come on, somebody help me here, will you? With the claws, what's his name? Come on, what's his name with the claws? Wolverine, that was it. Wolverine was funny, wasn't he? And then we had the only one who listened to Sol's instruction and dressed up in the German pants We had that's it, Wolverine. That's it. And then we had someone dress up in the German pants, and because they had a German dog. Well done, well done, well done. I think it went very well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try something here. It may work, it may not work. It may work, it may not work. Let me see if it. Unfortunately,
Oh, the beekeeper, Kieran said.
the beekeeper, hilarious, absolutely hilarious. So I'm just actually ringing somebody. It might work, might not work. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Oh, good evening, Christopher.
Good evening. And would you like to make a speech?
I could rattle a few words off, I guess.
Crack on, baby. Crack on. The stage is yours.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, the stage is yours. Do you want a drum roll?
Right. Okay. All right. Firstly, cheers to the judge and the field trial secretary. Thank you very much to the rest of the competitors, because I was watching them videos, and it had me in stitches a lot of the time. When we got to the end with the fancy dress, etc., it was just fantastic. And there's truly some great dogs in there. I don't know how you judged it, but I'm glad you did. And yeah, I'm really happy to come out in first place. Yeah, just wonderful, absolute. What a giggle! That's all I can say, Chris. Really, what a giggle! Really enjoyed it. Stuck in the field, dressed as a nun, with a devil's cap on, just hoping and praying that he wouldn't. And when I called the dog in, hoping she'd come into me and didn't run away from the devil. Yeah, we had some fun. So thanks again. I don't know really what else to say, but just a big thank you.
How old's your dog, Barry?
She's just over 19 months now.
Well, that was really good for her age. She did it really, really well. Well done. Well done. That was really good.
Yeah, she's 19 months, and she did. I know I've said about the season, but I thought she did go a bit dizzy on me. And she has come into season, and we're hoping that we're going to mate her over the next couple of weeks, and she'll have her first litter.
Lovely.
And yeah, it's just lovely, and she's a fantastic dog. I just love her. I don't know whether you see, but the bond is really, really strong.
Yeah,
it's the first one I've bred and trained. And you know what? I think there is a difference. There seems to be a difference with the bonding. I guess that's from having them, from day one and building that bond in the puppy pen and etc. 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 It is a really, really close bond I've got with her.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. It was great. It was great to watch that the dog wanted to work for you, but you could see the dog was enjoying it, and the dog listened to instruction well. But the dog went out with pace as well. You've not destroyed that, so that was good. Have you ever won anything before, Barry?
No.
Never. No.
All I've done. No. Well, my plan. I've only been in one test before, to be honest. And that's with my older dog. And we did a novice test.
Yeah.
And we come second.
Well done.
And that was our first. Yeah, that was our first and only test with Bex, because then she, had a litter with her, and then we went into the lockdown nonsense. So we haven't done anything.
Was it a puppy test or a novice test?
No, a novice test.
Well done. And how old is she?
Yeah, she's 5 now. So yeah, she's a good dog, but I don't know. She's been to see you, Chris. I brought her down, and you loved her, actually, her drive.
Yeah.
But I had a problem with her running in initially, because I don't know if you remember, but I probably told the group before, I actually trained her as a spaniel, because I I've got a small shoot that I'm a member of.
Mm.
So I actually had her doing a bit of beating, a bit of this and a bit of that, and then went to put the control in her. So I had this really fast Labrador, and to this day, there's still a bit of me that 90% of the time she's going to listen, but I always have that little bit of fear that she's gonna do a runner, and chase. But with Mia, I've kind of done it differently and followed, and it is the Corleone way. I've followed the Corleone way. I've really built the retrieving drive, and then started to work on, a little bit of discipline, straight line, stop, etc.
Yeah.
But because the retrieving is such a powerful, it's so
motivator
indented in her.
Yeah.
Oh, she'll take, she'll take a telling off and kind of just smile at you and understand and want to please you, and then it's like you've not said anything. But on the next,
but she's learned to cope.
You do. It's like you've not.
But she's learned to cope with pressure.
Yeah, Yes. Yeah, she can cope with the pressure. You can tell she's been told. If I tell her off, and it doesn't need much. It's only in the voice now.
Yeah.
Or a clap of the hands at her or something like that, and yeah, she really does listen. I'm still building up. It's one problem. I say it's not a problem. It's confidence, because with the Labradors, one thing that people will want to see is a really straight, fast run out on blinds.
Yeah.
And we're still working on that. We're still working towards that, building confidence. She'll go 60 yards, 70 yards, no problem. But it's the ones you've done across a whole field, and just keep pumping forward and going until either she finds something. On that straight line, or she hears the stop whistle. But like you just said, she's still a young dog, isn't she?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that was a nice thing about it.
I love it.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, Chris.
No, I said that was a nice thing about it. It was a young dog that actually won it. That's why I asked you the age, because I was pretty sure I knew the age. And a lot of people think, well, the older dogs did better. Technically, the older dogs should have done better, because they've got the age and the experience and the extra years in them. So anybody who struggled there, don't think you failed. You didn't fail. You put yourself out there. You had a go at it. And with repetition, and practice, and building that bond between you and the dog, and the trust between you and the dog, when the dog goes wrong, it's got to know that you've gone wrong. A couple of people shouted at the dog to stop. I didn't knock you that much, because if the dog stopped when you asked it, I knocked you a little bit, because you should have stopped it on the whistle. But when it didn't stop and you shouted at it a little bit, then I'm not going to knock you too much, because at the end of the day, as long as you're not repeating yourselves. And so I noticed that some of you had younger dogs, and I had to sort of have an open mind to judging. You can't just go, oh, I'm only looking for the experienced dogs. I was looking for everybody who's making an effort with their little dog. And that's why I think the test went really, really well myself. So well done, everybody. And there you go. Let's have a bollocks for Barry. Come on, then.
Cheers, guys.
Brilliant, Barry. Thanks a lot. And we're going over to Corleone Talk if you want to go over there in the next 10 minutes.
Thank you. Bye now.
Brilliant. Well done, Barry. Well done. Congratulations. So there you go. Fantastic and well deserved. And I think he scored 25 right through. Did he, Sue?
He did. 25
right through. He never dropped a point. Now that takes some doing. There wasn't nothing in that I didn't think, well done, Barry. 25 points for every test he did. That dog did really, really well. And he also joined into the fun of it as well. He joined in and dressed up as fancy dress as well. He was desperate to win it, wasn't he? He could have dropped the fancy dress and still won it, couldn't he, Sue? Or does he just like dressing up?
Yeah, because he had 105. He still was.
So Daniel Quinn says it's okay, done now. He couldn't listen, but he can listen. He can reply now. And like I said, Daniel, I think you would have been in the awards if you'd only dressed up. If you'd only dressed up. You've got to have a bit of soul. Get it? You've got to have a bit of soul. Anyway, so I think that's enough of this. I think that we've congratulated everybody, but there should be a real good congratulations for all of you who entered. Anybody who entered, you've seen your strengths and you saw your weaknesses. Work on your weaknesses and remember your strengths. That's how to get on in dog training. Don't get disheartened. Don't get yourself down just because I didn't see it the way perhaps you saw it, or you thought you should have had more points. I've been there and seen it. If you're good enough, you're going to be in the top 5. If you're in the top 5 in this standard, you were a very, very good standard. And I can just say to you that 2 of the people in the top 5 or 6 was definitely, and he wasn't far away, Daniel Quinn. And who else do you think, everybody? Anybody? Richard Gould was very close. His dog has improved vastly. So we want to say well done to you. I think his fancy dress stole it, but I think that really well. And I think Ian Gaunt's dog, for its age, did very well. I think Michelle's little Ginger stood out from what we've been seeing. And I think to you, a lot of you, we have people on here who say very, very little at all. They sit there. You see them on most live feeds. You see them on most Corleone talks. They don't say much. They don't put up much stuff. And they've surprised me. They put up their videos and their dogs are of a very good standard. And the ladies did absolutely fantastic as well. Exactly, Karen. And this isn't a ladies group only, remember. This is a mixed group because we have no discrimination against anybody in this group. Everybody is equal. We treat everybody equal in this group. We want to have a laugh. We want to have some fun, but we want to get those dogs to a better standard. And so that's the way to do it. And I think the test gave people that enthusiasm. That well done, John. Well done to everyone. All your dogs did brilliant. You should be proud of yourself. Exactly. So there you go, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed the live feed tonight. We're having a short one tonight because we're going over to Corleone Talk, where you lot can talk about your dogs and what you did and have a laugh, because you can talk one-to-one, because in the Corleone Talk, so we know, but other people on here watching this won't know that. You can actually talk amongst each other and give your opinions. Alan had some thumbs down from me.
Yeah, because every week he gives a thumbs down because you said give thumbs down to confuse
You
them all.
Bastard, Adam. Adam, not Alan. Adam. You bastard, Adam. You're making me paranoid. Every week I'm getting more and more paranoid. Rachel Fox, stop laughing, else you'll be in the sin bin with him. Okay, thanks a lot, everyone, for tuning in. Chris Upton signing off before I get any more thumbs down. Only got 19 thumbs up. I'm going to have a meltdown now because I've only got 19 thumbs up. 57 people in the house and only 19 people liked it. Oh, 20. We're going up in the world. Never mind. That's the way it goes, isn't it? And then life's a bitch and then you die in it. Hey? Do you know what? I think I've only got a head on the screen. If I do that, I've only got a head on the screen. I've got no body at all. Look. See that? It's a bit like that freaking thing from Red Dwarf, isn't it?
Yeah.
To put a fucking H on my head. Thanks for tuning in. We're going over to Corleone Talk, and we'll see you over there if anyone wants to go in there and have a chat. Thanks a lot. Good night, everybody. Chris Upton signing off. And from the Secret Zoo in the background. And I didn't mean to call her that word. That wasn't very nice at all. It just come off the top of my head for some reason.
I'll deal with you later.